Hello, my dear students. So today in chapter photosynthesis, we will study about dark reactions. Just wait. Dark reaction. Now here, Dr. Kelvin in 1954 discovered the correct path of carbon in photosynthesis. He showed and experimentally proved that these biochemical reactions leading to synthesis of glucose takes place in a cyclic manner. A substance present in the stroma except atmospheric carbon dioxide, maybe it takes place in stroma, and forms first stable product of photosynthesis. And that first stable product is PGA, 3 carbon containing compound. Hence, it is also called as C3 pathway because this PGA is 3 carbon containing compound, but popularly known as Calvin's cycle because this one is discovered by Dr. Kelvin. Now, this cycle involves 3 main steps. Now, what are those? Carboxylation, reduction, synthesis of glucose and regeneration of RUBP. So one by one, we will go into the detail of each step those involved in dark reaction. Now here, this one is the diagrammatic representation of the Calvin cycle. Here you can see that this cycle starts from 6 RUBP. So when atmospheric carbon dioxide is accepted by 5 carbon containing compound, that is ribulose biphosphate, fine. So here in the presence of enzyme, here the enzyme presence of RUDP carboxylase or RUBP carboxylase. So in the presence of this enzyme, RUBP will accept carbon dioxide and it will convert into PGA, 12 PGA. PGA is a 3 carbon containing compound. I already explained, that's why this cycle is also called as C3 cycle. Fine. So 6 RUBP, that is ribulose biphosphate, will accept the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and in the presence of enzyme RUBP carboxylase will convert into 12 PGA. Right? PGA is phosphoglyceric acid. This one is a 3 carbon containing compound. Right? So this is the step, that is carboxylation. Now the next one is here, this one reduction. Okay, now what is this reduction? Here in this process, what happened? This phosphoglyceric acid molecule are first phosphorylated by using ATP to produce, now here after receiving this one, to produce 3-diphosphoglyceric acid, and which is then further reduced by using NADPH2 to produce phosphoglyceraldehyde. Here we will get this one. So this 3 carbon containing compound 12 PGA will convert into PGAL, phosphoglyceraldehyde, by utilizing 12 ATP and 12 NADPH2. Okay. Now here what happened? In this case, some part of 3 PGAL, that is phosphoglyceraldehyde, here is converted into its isomer DHAP. Now what is this DHAP? This is dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Fine? Dihydroxyacetone phosphate. In the presence of enzyme triose phosphate isomerase. Okay. So here this PGAL, some part of this phosphoglyceraldehyde is converted into its isomer DHAP, that is dihydroxyacetone phosphate, in the presence of enzyme triose phosphate isomerase. So this step is reduction. Okay. So carboxylation is over, reduction is over. Now come to the next one, synthesis. Here you can see this one, lower one is a synthesis And here this one is a regeneration of RUBP. This one regeneration and here is the synthesis. Now synthesis lower side. Now for the synthesis of one molecule of glucose, okay, 6 turns of Calvin cycles are required, or 6 molecules of RUBP are required for one molecule of glucose. So here what happened, this out of 12, 10 molecules of PGAL will go further for the regeneration of RUBP and 2 molecules will go down for the synthesis of the glucose. So here what happened, the molecule of PGAL and DHAP will combine together to form fructose 1,6-diphosphate. Now this fructose 1,6-diphosphate by dephosphorylation, here you can see this is dephosphorylation, it will produce fructose 6-phosphate and further glucose 6-phosphate will form. Means first of all fructose 6-phosphate which then isomerizes into glucose 6-phosphate. Now this glucose 6-phosphate will lose phosphate group, dephosphorylation. Here you can see that phosphate group is moving out from glucose 6-phosphate. So it will produce glucose. Finally we are getting the glucose which is either utilized or stored as starch. Right? So this is all about the synthesis after reduction. Now move to the next, regeneration of RUBP, regeneration of ribulose biphosphate. Now here RUBP, this will get after several biochemical reactions. Now here these reactions are called sugar phosphate interconversion. Here you can see I have written here. So by these biochemical reactions we will regenerate RUBP, that is sugar phosphate interconversion. Now all these compounds which are formed are sugar phosphate. For example, we will go one by one. So you know that 10 molecules of PGA will be further used for the regeneration, isn't it? Now here, first of all, etherose will form, that is a 4 carbon containing compound. Then pseudoheptulose, here you can see, okay. Then ribulose, see here you can see I have written here RUMP, ribulose monophosphate, isn't it? Then later on this ribulose monophosphate will give ribulose biphosphate by utilizing 6-ATP. So this ribulose monophosphate will ultimately give 6-ribulose biphosphate. So in this way again we are getting ribulose biphosphate for the further Calvin cycle. So this is all about the dark reaction or Calvin cycle, and it is also called as C3 cycle because here the first stable compound is PGA and this one is the 3 carbon containing compound. Here you can see one more thing, that RUMP, ribulose monophosphate, is phosphorylated to RUBP. How? By using the ATP, isn't it? So for the generation of 6-ribulose biphosphate, 6 ATPs are required. Here you can see 6 ATPs are required. So the initial acceptor of CO2 gets regenerated. Now we got this initial acceptor. What is the initial acceptor of CO2 is ribulose biphosphate, isn't it? And then keeps the process going on and on and on. So in this way, here overall if you will check, here the 12 NADPH2, okay, 12 NADPH2, okay, then 18 ATP, how? 12 is here and 6 is here. So 12 plus 6, 18 ATP are required for the synthesis of one glucose molecule. So 12 NADPH2, 18 ATP are required for one glucose molecule. So this is all about the Calvin cycle. Now, most of the plant fix carbon dioxide through Calvin cycle, and they are called as C3 plants. Okay. Now, however, Ribusco, this one is thermolabial and require higher concentration of carbon dioxide for its activity. Now, at high temperature, the stomata close partially so that the availability of carbon dioxide will fall. So, at high temperature and low carbon dioxide concentration, this enzyme RUBP carboxylase functions as oxygenase and brings about oxidation of RUBP instead of carboxylation. Why? Because there is a low carbon dioxide concentration at high temperature. And why low carbon dioxide concentration? Because stomatas are partially closed. So this enzyme RUBP carboxylase will function as oxygenase. Fine. So that will bring about the oxidation instead of carboxylation. So due to this, considerable part of photosynthetically fixed carbon dioxide will back to atmosphere. Okay. So will back to atmosphere, and this is called photorespiration. This is another term now I will explain. Right? So this is photorespiration. So what happened? So due to this, considerable part of photosynthetically fixed carbon dioxide goes back to atmosphere, because here that will bring oxidation instead of carboxylation. Fine. So this is photorespiration. Now we will go in a detail of the photorespiration. Here. Okay. So in this diagrammatic representation, you can see photorespiration that involves three organelles: chloroplast, peroxisome and mitochondria. Okay. Now here the process of respiration, oxidation, that is initiated in the chloroplast. So first one initiated in the chloroplast and take place during daytime only. That's why it is called photorespiration. Conditions I already explained on what basis that photorespiration is taking place. Fine. So here at high temperature, high light intensity and low carbon dioxide concentration, oxidation of RUBP takes place by oxygen. This RUBP will take oxygen from the atmosphere, okay, and will result in the formation of phosphoglycolate and PGA. Fine, phosphoglycolate and PGA. Now here what happened? This phosphoglycolate and PGA will get incorporated in Calvin cycle, this one, and phosphoglycolate gets dephosphorylated. Here you can see this dephosphorylation. Okay, so this phosphoglycolate will dephosphorylate it to form glycolate within the chloroplast, because this cycle starts from the chloroplast. Now, the glycolate gets diffused into the another organelle that is called peroxisome. Now here what happened? It is glyoxylate, this glycolate will oxidize to glyoxylate and then gets converted into glycine. This glycine is an amino acid, right? And this glycine is a 2 carbon containing compound. Now this glycine is in the peroxisome. Now this glycine will enters into the mitochondria and then 2 molecules of glycine give rise to 1 molecule of serine. Here you can see, okay, and carbon dioxide is released here. Then carbon dioxide is released here and this glycine is converted into serine also, and here the consumption of, you can see, NAD will change into NADH, isn't it? This one, and carbon dioxide is released. Now this serine is taken up again by the peroxisome. Here you can see that will enter into peroxisome and gets converted into glycerate, means from serine to hydroxypyruvate and then to the glycerate by taking NADH, by consuming 1 NADH, that will reduce to NAD. Now this glycerate will further enters into the chloroplast, back to the first organelle, chloroplast, and then this glycerate, this one, enters the chloroplast and gets phosphorylated to form PGA. So this glycerate, here you can see this one. So this glycerate gets phosphorylated to form PGA and enters the Calvin cycle. Here you can see again ATP is utilized while converting from glycerate to PGA. ATP is used. Fine. Now this PGA will enter into the Calvin cycle, enters into the Calvin cycle. So here again we are back to the chloroplast. So in this photorespiration you can see that 75% of the carbon is lost by oxygenation of RUBP and is recovered. Whatever the 70% of carbon lost by RUBP is recovered, but 25% is lost as release of 1 molecule of CO2. So this is all about the photorespiration. Here very important thing that this photorespiration involves and that takes place, that is in 3 organelles: chloroplast, peroxisome and mitochondria. It starts from RUBP, ribulose biphosphate, by taking the oxygen, isn't it? And I also explained the condition on what basis, on at which time, at high temperature, high light intensity, low carbon dioxide concentration. So because of this only RUBP will get oxidation by taking the oxygen from the atmosphere, and that's why they result phosphoglycolate and PGA. So this is all about photorespiration. Thank you.